Okay, I'm Adrian Hogg. I'm the Pro Audio Specialist here at Focusrite. We're in Hall 8, which is the Pro Light and Sound part of Music Messe, and we have a dedicated booth for our Rednet system.
So tell me, what is Rednet? It's back to the Focusrite red aluminium
Back to the red panels, that's exactly right. So Rednet is our Dante-based audio networking system. So in case you don't know what Dante is a audio networking protocol which allows, think of it as the language used by the different devices, allows them to communicate with each other using a regular IP Ethernet network.
So just Cat5?
Just Cat5e, Cat6. We actually have some fibre here as well, connecting each of our stations together. So it's quite a geeky booth, but also quite a cool one as well.
So it's like audio networking, basically?
That's exactly what it is, yeah.
And I mean, this has become massive with sort of front of house, stage box kind of thing, but you're doing something in addition to that, right?
That's right, yeah. So yeah, Dante has been in sort of the very well established in the live sound, broadcast, theatre, those kinds of worlds. Rednet, when we first envisaged the product, we were thinking to create a Dante-based recording studio solution. So with a connection to Pro Tools HD, with our own PCIe card, a virtual driver as well. And really one of the original ideas was that you could put your I/O wherever you need it in the recording studio. So that might be putting your preamps in the live room with the performer so that your analog cable runs are then very, very short. You can also remote control our preamps from the control room, so actually you can do everything you need to right from the control room. Also allows you to tie all of your rooms together without using a traditional tie line or patch-based system. So just by virtue of being on the network, any one of your rooms can be connected to any of your other rooms. So any live room with any control room, or any combination of live room with any control room.
And what sort of capacity does it have? Like a single wide Dante system, how many channels of what sort of capacity audio?
Yep. So you're only really limited by the scale of your network. So on a gigabit connection, which is the minimum spec for Rednet, you'd be looking at around about 500 channels of audio in both directions, just on one cable.
At what resolution?
48K.
Right. 24-bit?
24-bit, yeah.
Right.
And then on a 10 gig network, which is not so common yet, but possibly in the future, start to see that more and more, you're talking 2,000-3,000 channels of audio.
So plenty, really?
Enough for most people, yeah.
And so what are the component parts that you make? I mean, because there's lots of different types of interfaces here. What are we talking about?
So we make analog I/O in 8 and 16 channel versions. That's the Rednet 1 and 2. We do digital I/O starting from the Rednet 3, which is a ADAT and AES bridge, so converting ADAT signals or AES signals into Dante. We also do the Rednet 4, which is our 8-channel remote control preamp, which we've got some of just over here. So each Rednet 4 will have 8 Focusrite microphone preamps, which I can control from the front panel or remote control using our Rednet control software. Also has 8 line inputs, 2 DI inputs. Rednet 5, which is our Pro Tools HD bridge. So that has Digilink connectors, which will connect to Avid HDX, HD Native, older HD cards as well. And each one of those will give you 32 channels I/O from the Dante network into Pro Tools HD.
And is there any kind of inherent latency on systems like this?
So point-to-point latency, let's say it's from the input of my Rednet 4 preamp to the output of this Rednet 1 here, just through the network, so without the computer involved, you'd be looking around about 600 microseconds input to output, so very, very low.
So hardly anything? Hardly anything. Almost as much time as it takes for my voice to reach your ears?
That's right. Well, data moves down the cable at the speed of light, so probably faster then.
Faster.
Yeah.
So, and presumably, does this enable you to create very complex patching and routings from within a utility of some kind?
It does. So the system we have on the booth today is basically 3 Rednet systems. Our studio system, which we've just seen with Pro Tools HD, a kind of live setup. So this is where Dante starts to come into play. We've got the Yamaha CL1 console, which uses Dante. So we've connected it to the same network as the rest of our gear. Rednet 4's preamps and a Rednet 1, kind of representing typical sort of stage box scenario. So this is our live setup. And then fibre again over to the other part of the booth, where we have Allen and Heath GLD80 console, which is connected via MADI to Rednet 6, which is our MADI bridge, so Dante to MADI. And then we also have the new D16, which is the new Focusrite AES to Dante bridge.
Right. So you've got a Joko black box?
We've got a Joko black box, again running Dante. One of the main themes of this booth really is integration with third-party equipment. So if something runs Dante, there are 150 or more now manufacturers all developing equipment that uses the Dante protocol. It means that the size and the scale of network that you can build could be very, very big. And there are so much functionality provided by all these different manufacturers. You can really build a system in any way that you want for any application, be it a recording studio, a live system, a broadcast truck, anything you want really.
So the routing, is it one-to-one or one-to-many, or how does that?
It can be either way. So you can route things as unicast, so as you say, one signal to one place, or I can actually send the same signal to many different places on my network. A good example of that might be from a stage with some preamps running Dante to the front of house, also to the monitors, and then maybe via Rednet 5 to Pro Tools HD system to record the concert. Or broadcast. And you don't have to do any kind of special patching or switching or passive splits. You just use the software to tick a box which says we're sending audio here and to here and to here.
So it must be a joy to the people who used to rack up with sort of giant trucks full of multi-core, right?
Yeah, everybody's back is feeling much better these days. Yeah.
So how does redundancy work in that system then? Because obviously, you know, most people, if they're putting Cat5, they might put 2 or 3 strands in to kind of, just so that will it self-heal, or you got ways of doing that, or are there routers that will do that?
So the network redundancy for the majority of Rednet interfaces, because remember this is a system we designed initially for the recording studio, so Rednet 1 to 6 has a single Ethernet port. Redundancy can be provided through a network, but then the latest Rednet interface is the D16. This one has 2 Dante ports, primary and secondary, which if you were to lose connection with one of those ports, it will automatically switch to the second port, which is a second network essentially, and automatically switch between the two.
And is that any kind of special cable, or is it just has to be Cat5, Cat-E, Cat6?
Cat5e, Cat6, or on switches, a lot of modern switches, you can get a mini Gbit connector which will allow you to do fibre as well.
So what sort of, what's the pricing starting point? Say if I wanted 2 rooms connected up with 8-channel mic pre's in each one with a central computer, what sort of setup costs are you talking about?
Yeah, okay.
Just a basic small kind of 8 in, 8 out kind of scenario.
Well, it's similar pricing to what you would expect with Apogee or Avid. You know, it's sort of anywhere from, for the digital boxes, which tend to be around about 1,500, maybe a little less, up to the mic pre, which is around about 2,500.
But they've got what sort of mic pre's there? They're like ISA mic pre's, or?
They're a new design of mic pre, so they are, I mean, as all Focusrite pre's are, they have the familiar Focusrite sound, which is lots of clarity, very, very open sound, lots of detail, not so much coloration, just kind of subtle warmth, if you like. They're not ISAs, and they're not based particularly around any other previous design, but they still have the characteristic Focusrite sound.
Okay. And is there a challenge to create remotely controllable mic pre's in terms of, is it switchable attenuation or gain, or do you actually have continuously variable on those sorts of things?
So yeah, the remote control is actually done, via the software, so I can adjust gain in 1 dB steps. We actually have a new function which we're showing at the show, which is control over MIDI, so you can use any hardware MIDI controller or iPad controller to control the gain steps. And we do have a function as well, which I'll just show you on the Pro Tools system, which is control of the Rednet mic pre using the Pro Tools mic pre functions.
Okay.
So I can control my mic pre using Pro Tools HD, and also Pro Tools control surfaces like the Command 8, the C24, and the newer control surfaces as well.
So you say you started off in the recording, kind of with the idea of recording, and where is it mostly going now? Are we talking theatre, broadcast? Where's the sort of majority of this stuff going?
It's split between all of those categories. So of course, recording studio, that was our first idea, if you like, but what we found is having the Dante technology has really opened up this world for us. So yeah, as you say, anywhere that's using Dante, could be a theatre, could be a broadcaster, or a live system. And in many cases, we're looking at sort of glue, if you like, between tying different systems together. And the Focusrite name, of course, ensures you always have a very high quality audio pathway.
Are there any? Is there any possibility that wireless networking will ever come into play with any of this, or is that not fast enough or reliable enough yet?
Wireless networking, yeah. Currently, it's not quite a reliable enough technology for us to be able to reliably provide such high quality audio in such large channel counts. Currently, wired is the best way to go, but of course, you can't rule these things out for the future.
And in terms of patching, can you kind of set up complex patches and switch them quickly with program changes so you can reconfigure fast?
Yeah, you have a file save menu within Dante Controller. So I can save different presets for my routing, load them as and when I need to. In fact, we have 2 loaded for this booth today, so I can actually play back through the main PA and mix on the CL console, either from my acoustic session that I've got over here, or I actually have a full live band playback from the Mac Pro over there.
And
that's just flipping a preset.
Sort of noise-free, switch-free, just...
It's just data at the end of the day, so there's no analog switching involved. It's all just switching the data, and yeah, it's noiseless changeovers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.